All right, in this video, we're going to address a common mistake that some people make when they're first learning to read. And that is, we're going to address two letters that look very similar but make two different sounds. And before I get into the letter formation, I want to talk about why this happens. So when you're looking at an object in real life, or in real life, yeah, when you're looking at an object, it doesn't matter how you position that object in space, it's still the same object. So for instance, a cup is a cup whether you're facing the handle to this way, or you're facing the handle this way, or you turn the cup upside down, or you turn the cup sideways. So a cup is a cup no matter what its orientation in space is. So that the orientation means like how it's positioned, right? So that's not the case when it comes to letters. The orientation, the way that letters are written, is very important, especially because some letters look very similar to each other, and yet they represent very different sounds. So we're going to actually be able to look at a couple of different letters today and recognize the different sounds that they represent. Now, you know that I like to talk about the way that our mouth makes the words and makes the sounds that we use. So we're going to start in the front of our mouth with our lips closed. And the two sounds we're going to represent today are with our lips closed, and we're going to just push out a little bit of air. The way that we're going to push out air makes all the difference in the way that these sounds are made. So one of them, we're going to lift our top lip, and the other one, we're going to drop our lower lip. So let me do that and do the first one where I lift my top lip. And then, so that I added a schwa at the end. It's really not with the sound. It's the b, b, b. It's kind of hard to show lifting my top lip, but if you do it, you'll hear it, b, b, like in baby. All right. So I know it looks like I'm dropping my lower lip, but it's really, you're lifting your upper lip, and you're also adding voice to that as well. So you're adding, you can hear your voice box. If you can't tell the difference with just lifting your lip, you should be able to tell the difference between your voice box being on. B, b. You should hear it, feel a little vibration here. B. And the other sound, so that's the b sound. And then the other sound is a p sound. And that one, see, it's like a little puff of air, and I drop my lower lip really for that one. So actually, it's like I'm pushing out my lower lip. Oh, interesting. The other one, I'm pushing out my upper lip. So the top one is like pushing out my upper lip, and the other one is pushing out my lower lip. So the b sound, like in baby, is represented with the letter B, and I'm going to show you how to write that. And the way I teach this actually goes back to how we represent it in the mouth. So the first letter is going to be a B, and so I relate it to our mouth. So our lips, here's our lips. Imagine that represents our lips, are blocking a ball of air. And you can ask yourself, am I lifting, is it my top lip that is going up to represent the b sound? Notice that the air is coming out, trying to come out more at the top than out the bottom. So that's a, and that is babbling. Also, your voice is on. So that's a lowercase b. And then an uppercase B I'll do over here. Let me make sure, yeah, it's still on camera. Is that goes straight down. And it also has the bottom, and then all the way back to the top, I lift and I do a circle at the top and to the middle and a circle at the bottom. So you can kind of think the lowercase b is like taking off that part. And this, I really think of like my lips are blocking a ball of air and I lift my lip up to make that sound. All right, the other one is like it's almost in the same place in your mouth, but it's and not with the but just and that is represented by the letter P. So with that, I still think of my lips are blocking a ball of air, but to make this sound, it's my bottom lips that you can pull down. So it's almost like boot is like boot, out, wait, boot, moving them apart up and down, and the is pushing them out. You can also think of that, but it's really if you just do it quietly and you feel your upper lip move up and your bottom lip move down. Okay, that's a lowercase p. That's a lowercase b. Notice what I was talking about earlier. They look very much the same, don't they? Like you could just imagine if it was a cup and it was flipped, that it would be similar. But don't get confused. These do not represent the same sound, the same phoneme. Phoneme means sound that changes the meaning of a word. And think of it like this. I'll do a word and then I'll change the sound between these and you'll see what I mean. But first, let me do the uppercase P. So uppercase P starts from the very top and goes all the way down. And then this, they put the ball of air at the top. Okay, so still, you can think the ball of air and you pull your lips down for this. All right, to show you the difference between the sounds that these can make, I'm going to kind of attach them to some words. So, like in bat, or p, like in pat. Like, do I want to take a bat to my back, or do I want a pat on the back? So notice how it's just a little subtle change in that sound can change the meaning. Let me think of another one. Beg, like, please give me money. That would be beg. Or a peg, a square peg in a round hole. A peg is like a little piece of wood. So notice how the changes and it changes the meaning. Let's do another one. Oh, yes. There's a word that includes both of these, backpack. So on your back, behind you, right, you wear a pack, a container that's full of books. So that's a backpack. A back is not the same as a pack. So notice that it's really important to know the difference, that these do not represent the same sound, even though they're kind of made in the same spot in your mouth. And yeah, and they look very similar, but the sounds are actually different, and it changes what the word means when you use a different letter. Those are both called stops because your lips are stopping air from flowing. I hope this helped a little bit, and I'll keep making these videos. Take care.